Do you already had people asking you to be referred, but you to in online?
Yeah. So do I have people who ask me to refer them?
But
yeah.
Without really knowing them.
Yes. Yeah.
It happened to you.
It happens all the time. And my favourite one was I gave a talk recently. And in that talk, I talked very much about this whole idea of getting to know people, building trust, building understanding, making sure that people both feel confident to refer you, they know who you want to meet, and it feels natural. And I got an email from someone who'd been on the session. Fantastic session, Andy, thank you so much. And obviously you're well connected, so I've attached a PDF of what I do, and if you know anyone, if you can recommend me, that would be great. I laughed and I replied to her and I said, I'm really glad you enjoyed the session, but how closely were you listening? And I said it in a very nice way. And she sort of came back and said, you're absolutely right, so what should I do? And the fact was that, she had been in an audience and she had interacted, so I knew who she was. But while she may trust me to an element because she's seen me deliver, she's just been in an audience. I don't know what she does or the quality. So to expect me to then refer her was, it was a difficult situation, and that will happen quite a lot. You have to focus on the relationships, focus on the long term, not short. Just before this meeting, I had a meeting with a potential client, and we were talking about this very subject. And I said, I knew that there might be the potential for business. We didn't know that before the meeting. He just asked to meet with me. I said, but I'm not writing notes until we get down to things. I just want to find out how well we get on. I said, because I know that if you want to buy from me, you will. But if we build a relationship over the long term, you might refer me several times. So it's actually, we have an hour where we just get on really well. Okay, short term I might not get the business that would be great, but long term I might get a lot more.
So there is a big issue or something a lot of networkers are discussing about. Do you need a big network or a quality network? What is best for you?
Well, I think you've answered the question in the question itself, because you said, do you want a big network or a quality network? And there are people that would argue that for them a big network represents quality. And
well, you will find some quality in a big network.
Yeah, and I know people who have the big network approach to LinkedIn or Facebook, and when I say, does it bring you business, they say yes. My philosophy is slightly different. Actually, it's very different. I do believe that you want to build a large, diverse network, because you need different reach. If I know 10 people and they all know each other, I've got no reach to the other people I want to meet, because my network and theirs are the same. So the bigger your network, the wider it is, the more reach you've got to get to the people you want to know. But if you've got no relationship with the people in those networks, if they don't have that trust in you, then are they going to make the connections for you anyway? So you need a network that is both broad and deep. And then you have to look at how broad a network you can manage. And there will be different layers of that network. So the people at the core of your network you see all the time, you'll have a deeper relationship with than the people you've met once or twice and you stay in touch with on Christmas card lists. So there are those subtleties. But ultimately, just connecting with 10,000 people by exchanging a connection on LinkedIn or exchanging a business card at an event, I don't think there's much value in that.
So I will quote you saying connecting is not enough?
Well, that's my strapline. Connecting is not enough. You can't just exchange cards or accept a connection and never talk about anything else. Because ultimately, if I met you at a networking event, and as I said earlier, that's how we met, if we'd have shaken hands, not really talked about anything, exchanged business cards, you've got a business card that says Andy Lopata, I've got a business card that says Massimiliano Turci, and then a year later, 2 years later, you get in touch with me and ask for something, or vice versa, we don't know who each other is. We don't remember where we met. Even if we database it, we can't remember the conversation because there's no impression. But because we stayed in touch, you know, when it came to this, of course, you know, I responded to your request to meet, you know, and chat and do the video because there was some kind of connection there, and we, even though we don't talk very often, we stayed in touch, and that's all it needs.